Hello, this is Roland Wadcott with Kind Heart Senior Care. Here to talk today a little bit about choosing a caregiver and things you should consider when you're getting ready to choose a caregiver. So let's get started with this. Choosing a caregiver, first thing you might consider is this a great caregiver? Then consider protection, choosing an agency, and then a little shameless plug for Kind Heart Senior Care. So first is this a great caregiver? You want to know if they've had training how to do lifts, treat diseases, and what to look for, etc. Then you want to check their references. Have you checked them and have you gotten them? And then skills. You need to know whether or not they've got the skills needed to be able to do the job you're asking them to do. So that's a lot to consider. Protection. Do you have protection for yourself? Do you have workman's compensation insurance on these caregivers in case they get hurt while they're doing lifts on your loved one? Do you have unemployment insurance in case they lose their job where they're covered for unemployment? Are you paying their Social Security as well as the other employer part of their taxes? Do you have liability insurance in case that they hurt themselves and want to sue you, that you're covered for that for at least $1 million, and also supplemental auto insurance in case they get a wreck with your loved one in the car and their insurance doesn't cover everything? Are you prepared to check out a caregiver? You prepared to do state and national background checks, tuberculosis tests? You prepared to check out their driving record and their auto insurance? Do credential checks and training on them? Backup, what if the caregiver gets sick or doesn't show up? Caregivers on the bench if needed. Do you have caregivers in the background ready to fill in if needed? Or multiple caregivers if you have a 24/7 case? Does the caregiver have protection? Are they covered by insurance if they get hurt? Do they get the training they need on the job? Do they have Social Security being paid so that they'll get Social Security later on when they get older? How can you avoid these pitfalls? Well, by choosing a good personal care agency in the state of Utah, you can resolve many of these problems. In Utah, a licensed personal care agency is required to have caregivers be employees, and all the employee issues are taken care of, including insurance and employer taxes and workman's comp and all those things. Background investigations are required and TB tests are required. Not all agencies will check on their driving record as well as their insurance, vehicle insurance, but many of them do. You want to look for an agency that's backed by a national organization but retains local ownership and control with national advice. So not necessarily a franchise, but more of a membership group. You want to choose an agency that stresses training. Ask them about their caregiver training programs. Ask about reference checks for a specific caregiver to make sure they're doing them on their caregivers. Ask about caregivers on the bench and ready to work. How many they have ready to work today? Ask them if they're using telephony to do time tracking so that you know the people are in your home and that they're only charging you for the time they're working. Ask them if they're Utah State Personal Licensed Care Agency. Kind Hearts Senior Care is. We're a member of the Seniors Choice Network, which is the largest national network of personal care agencies in the nation, with over 200 members. We're the only member of a national network in St. George. There are other agencies that are franchises, but no other members of national members networks. Ask them about their training. We have copyrighted certified companion aid training, certified hospice aid training, and Home Care Plus training on Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, diabetes, and other diseases. We ask our caregivers for references, and we check our references on every caregiver. We always have caregivers on the bench ready to take assignments and fill in when needed so that you can feel confident that there will be somebody to take care of your loved one. And we use telephony to track time so we know when our caregivers arrive on site and we know when they leave. Thank you for listening to this. I hope it's helped you in choosing a caregiver. And of course, I hope you consider choosing Kind Heart Senior Care. But regardless of what you do, use these things in considering a caregiver. Thank you.